Hey guys, do you agree with me? If you want to be a millionaire, you need to have millionaire habits. So in this episode, we'll explore. Let's start.
Everyone around you is millionaire. Do you think one day you'll become a millionaire?
If you hang out with successful millionaire, right, if it's bad, they just tell you straight.
Some people find it very hard to get millionaire friends. The fact is because you suck.
I believe that millionaires, right, they have a different way of seeing the value of things.
I will spend money on to save my time.
Don't be pound foolish.
It's very important to set some time for yourself.
I will become a millionaire soon. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Cafe Money, and in today's topic, we are going to talk about millionaire habits. So I have two millionaires beside me now, and I'm going to prick their brain and ask them what is their habits.
But Qiuyu, you were also like almost reaching a million, right? I mean, you started way before this whole journey and you have come pretty far now and you have some properties.
So I'm not a millionaire yet. And I know I will become a millionaire soon. Okay, so I think firstly, mindset, you all need to have a mindset of becoming a millionaire just like me.
I know you for quite a while already. Honestly, looking at a portfolio of stocks, property, you are not just close, you are definitely getting there,
Wow.
right? So
Yeah, I know.
Let's also explore your perspective as well. So I think in this episode, let us all share our good habits, and what we think that over the years of mistakes we have accumulated, right? What are some things, right, that audience over there should take note? And if you resonate with all these habits, right, want to see in the comment section, and if you have good stuff that you want to share that we didn't cover, juicy tips, right, share it there to really enrich this community together as well. So let's go to point number one. Let's start from Qiuyu. How about that, right? So Qiuyu, what do you think, right, is a very good habit to take note of throughout your whole year of experiences, and for someone who is about to get there, right, what is the biggest changer?
I think the biggest changer is about like the people that you hang out with. So, I mean, imagine yourself, right? You're surrounded by millionaires. Everyone around you is millionaire. Do you think one day you'll become a millionaire?
It's pretty obvious you will be one.
Very likely, right? I wouldn't say definitely, like, it's very likely. But the question is, right, why would the millionaire want to hang out with you?
It is. So,
Right.
so there's many parts to explore over here, right? And before we talk about why they want to hang with you, right, let's talk about how come hanging out with a millionaire will make you a millionaire. Because it sounds very bizarre. I mean, for us, maybe it seems like a norm. But let's put into a perspective of like, maybe I was 18, right? Someone tell me like, to be a millionaire, you hang with me. Like, what? Like,
Okay. So let's do an example. So,
Yeah.
I have a business idea. We want to do ABCD. Okay? You want
Stupid
to
business
join?
idea. No, but basically because...
Can you help me with it? You got any better idea that, we can
actually,
explore
Ken leave
together?
the biggest clue there. That's tip number one. Because
God.
if you hang out with successful millionaire, right, if it's bad, they just tell you straight.
Oh, yeah,
The problem
man.
with hanging out with like friends, they are all encouraging at times, right? And it can cost you more money later.
Wait a minute.
Right.
That means, right, to be a millionaire, you need to avoid bad mistake.
Of course. Because
Right.
why do you have to make all the mistake in your lifetime? You could have learned
That's
from people who
very
have
good.
gone through that. I mean, look at Ken. Ken have went through multiple business experiences as well. And then Ken would literally just tell you straight to your face about things that you're going to burn your next 5 years life with, right? So actually the answer is just there. And it's
Oh
not even
my
about him
gosh.
supporting you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that is one on perspective. Because if you hang out with people who talks about like, why is Starbucks coffee expensive? Why is my colleague a toxic person, right? Versus if you hang out with a group of people who talk about stocks idea, big picture idea, next wave, next movement, right? Then the way you see money might change. The way you see investment will change. And slowly that becomes your modality, your conversation, and your action as well. So the influence is so subtle but so powerful.
And I think it's the mindset. Like, I believe that millionaires, right, they have a different way of seeing cash flow, the value of things.
Yes.
Right.
That's the way, that's the right word, the value of
The
money.
value of things. I think a lot of people put too high a value on things that doesn't even matter, like spending money on Starbucks, coffee. Right? It's too much. It's for a coffee that's $7, right? Right.
Look at Benny start to...
It's very interesting because
You like good coffee.
Graham Stephan, right?
Yeah.
It's someone who believes in like spending as little in coffee,
It's
right?
$1 coffee, right?
Yeah, but we have a interesting perspective on that also. We say that sometimes you want to get your big move right, not just your small move. You can
Yes.
get all your small move right and it got wiped away by your property investment move, your stock investment idea, right? Then no point saving all these like $5, right? If
Yes.
it amount up to like you losing your biggest decision in life, right? Then you're done.
So this is one of the points I want to bring across. Most people, this is one of the habits that most millionaires should have is, don't have, is being penny wise, pound foolish.
Two things we have explored so far, right? Number one, your network gonna mix with the right people. Number two, right? Don't be pound foolish, right? Get the big thinking, big picture, right? Big decision, right? Not just a small one. But we want to go back to the first one.
Yeah.
Because
Go back.
there's second part to it, right? You say that, why would then the millionaire hang out with you? Ken, what is the experience like? Being someone who is so exposed and open about a portfolio, right?
Like, why do you want to hang out with me?
Oh.
Being a millionaire, we get to feel a lot of kind of people coming towards us. I mean, towards me, I feel it. Can sense whether the person wants something from you or this person just wants to hang out with you. Or there's many clues that I cannot even like discuss because I don't know how to put it in words. But generally, the feeling from like, how do I want to make have you as a friend? I'm not too sure why, but I'm good with you guys, man.
Maybe I can share this as well, is that I see a lot of people who took it very wrong approach. They try their best to look rich in order to mix with the rich, right?
That doesn't work, sorry.
Yeah, I think it just doesn't make sense. I tell you why it's so logically illogical. It's because, first of all, if they already got them rich, why they care about your wealth level?
Exactly.
The people who care about your wealth level are generally people who are on the poorer status. So by you trying to act rich all over again and just faking it, right, you only attract the worst network ever.
The wrong crowd, man.
Get rich quick skin people, you know, the one who are desperate, the one who need your money, right? So the fact is that many of us right now truly embrace, and it's very hard to find real friendship. Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
And if you come forward with value, with authenticity and honesty, right, I think you have a higher chance to stay with someone who is wealthy than trying to prop that you're good, you're best at doing something. And it's very, very paradoxical. You know? So people say, hey, but should I be? No, I think you reach to a point where you no longer look at friends as money, as wealth level. You look at them as companions, as happiness, right? So be that friend, you know, be that good friend.
Yeah, good point.
And not forgetting that most of the good millionaires do understand that they might be a champion in one, but not in other aspect of their life. And if you show up just who you are, maybe they might need relationship advice, maybe they might need friends advice, maybe they just need some business comments.
Entertainment,
right?
I think I'm the best at that.
Then you can really show up as who you are. I think that's most important, right? Don't be that toxic person. I mean, it's just, if you are toxic and you expect yourself to go into a network of non-toxicity, nobody will accept you. You just have to check yourself. What do you say? You know, what is your ulterior motive? And Ken is right. I think we can smell people from afar when they have this weird agenda.
We can smell. Some people I can smell it instantly. Some people I take a longer time. But it's over time. Okay, I think I was actually thinking back to your question. What actually makes me want to hang out with the person more is through over time and certain experiences that happen along the way. Were you there when I needed help when I was a nobody? You know, that kind of stuff. The smallest actions do tick in my head.
Success leaves clue. Failure leaves clue. Toxicity leave clue as well. It's in the small action you know how they are like. I mean, think about it. If I go out with someone and the way they treat the waitress is like disgustingly bad.
These are key pointers.
I tell you, like, that is just a clear sign of get out of my life, because I hate people who don't respect people. I mean, it's just borderline crap way of treating life. And they only speak to me nicely, but then when they look at someone who supposedly have a lower status, right, they start to be like, oh no, don't talk to me like this.
And for such people, you can expect, let's say one day something happens to you and they are going to treat you this way. Right.
Because it's superficial.
Actually, to add on to what you said, it's a real fact that you are the average of the 5 to 10 people around you. I used to do this with my students in the past, where I asked them to write down who are the 10 people closest to you and ask them to calculate what are these 10 people's salary. And if you take the 10 people's salary, you divide out, actually the average salary is your salary.
Wow.
Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. I used to do this with my students all the time. And people realize, shit, I'm the average of the 10 people around me. So you need to change that. Some people find it very hard to get millionaire friends. The fact is because you suck, right? So you got probably something got to self-reflect. It's a lot of self-reflection and understanding there's always ways to improve.
And also filter your network, I guess, along the way. I mean, most people keep accumulating network, but you don't filter.
I think previous episodes I shared how I filter people away.
Yeah. And I think it's so important. Like, filtering people is a big part of life. And I just want to say one last thing on a different perspective is that I think sometimes also when we come to talk about choosing network, right, we are talking about like mixing with people with a different perspective, maybe have a different wealth profile. And I think in one of our episodes, we also share that you could attend a training program. And then you can get friends from there as well. We talk about that. So there's many ways to get network and all. But I think what I wanted to say is this, is that don't use that to judge people. Don't say, oh, because you're lower than me, I don't hang out because I need to choose my network. Don't do it. It's very disgusting. And also, there will be a bunch of friends that will forever be your friend and they're not rich and it's fine. I mean, like, it's not wrong. Like,
and they don't even care whether you're rich or not.
Yeah, and it's fine, right? Do have them in your life, but be careful about advice from them maybe. But don't look at everybody just as a means of like wealth, right? I mean, like, so this is another flip side of choosing a network. We have seen people who are so materialistic at choosing network. That they say, oh yeah, because we need to choose our network. Right? They don't even hang out with like people anymore.
They don't hang out with normal people anymore.
Yeah,
that's wrong.
That is actually on the flip side worse than choosing your network.
That's a good one. That's
because
a
it just
good perspective.
really grow you into a bad habit of being materialism. You're superficial, right? So just be careful, guys. So you want to hang on a good network, but do categorize people very carefully. I mean, like, there are friends who are just friends. They're just like childhood friends and they're cool. You know what I mean? It's nothing wrong.
Back to millionaire habits, right? So besides like choosing the right kind of people to hang out with, what other habits do millionaires have?
I feel that we are always respectful of time. I respect my own time, respect other people's time. If you don't know how to respect time, you won't know how to, use your time wisely. Yes, you have penny wise, pound foolish. So one of the examples I did is probably I bought an Apple laptop and a phone. So one of the things that I like a lot about if you're in the Apple ecosystem is the AirDrop function. And do you know that one of the things that saves me a lot of time is that you can actually copy from you press copy on your iPhone, you can paste in your MacBook.
Yes,
you know
yes,
that? A lot of Apple users do know that. So these are the things that I will spend money on to save my time. So it makes my workflow a lot easier so I can get the content out better.
I give you a flip side of an example. I was trying to save like, I think $5,000 on renovation. I get to like do it DIY-ish, by myself, right? And now I spent 3 times the crazy time and it didn't went well and I have to hire another contractor again.
What?
My biggest learning from there, it wasn't the money loss, but it's just, I was so upset with my decision because at that point I favor like instantaneous reward, like, or maybe I spend a bit lesser and I forget that over time it might cost me more time and money, right? Because I don't get it right once. Like, you want to get it right once and not repeatedly getting it. Think about it. If you save money on buying things, you spend so much time researching on buying something that saves you $300, and then what about your time? You're wasting it away, right?
Exactly.
And then you spend so much time repairing that something because you got to save money, right? Then you forget that it doesn't right. I'm not saying to be spendthrift, right? I mean, of course, prudency, thriftiness is important, but just really respect your time, right? Respect professionalism. Also respect that when someone gives you a good craft, it's one time off, it's good,
okay to pay them.
You're done, right? You pay. And that's kind of the respect that we're talking about here, which is all linked together to penny wise, pound foolish. So you want to save that few dollars, and then you burn the network.
I also surround myself with very dependable people, so it saves me time. Let me give you an example. I just renovated my studio, which I share with 3 other YouTubers. This studio-wise, I actually got my contractor, which I've been using for 20 over years, since my mom's time. Got to know her doing the trade show days, But I know that she's reliable. I brought her there. This is what I want to do. And I hands off the entire project. Although she charges me like $1,000 or $2,000 more than others, which is really not a lot, I don't even need to go down and look at the place. She just texts me, do you want this? I say, okay, go. I don't need to do anything. So would I pay for that anytime saving the $2,000? No, I wouldn't.
Your value, your time, more than money. If it can save you time, you find that it's worth the value. It's okay to pay that extra money, right? Because it gives you the headspace, it saves you trouble. You are willing to pay slightly more to get certain services that save you time.
When we talk about respecting time, the amount of people who thinks that you are so free to advise them just because you're popular, you need to always free up yourself on them. It's ridiculous. I mean, like, hey Benny, can I advise on this? Hey Benny, can you help me this? I mean, like,
they take it for granted that if you know it, you should give the advice for free.
And I'm okay to give for free, but on my time.
Yes.
So you literally just burn the network by insisting your way, right? By, you want it at whatever time you want. And that's so selfish. If you don't respect the person you want to hang out with their time, right? You go in unprepared. Yep. Imagine like this guy finally give you that 1 hour of conversation or coffee session, right? You're late, so you burn 20 minutes. You show up and you're not prepared. What do you expect? How many people want to ask for a business consultation from me, right? Then I ask them, okay, so what is your business? Don't know, I'm still thinking. You're not even prepared to meet me to talk about anything. So what do you expect me to feed you with all the answers, right? So I think that is the perspective of like the network idea that we talk about, the time. Because if you don't truly start from yourself to respect this, you cannot then empathize the power of a successful person time.
Let me drop you another example. This is one of the things how I cut people off my life. You've been a friend for a while, then you ask me out for a coffee and ask for some advice. As usual, I usually turn up early. Most of the time, 99%, I turn out early. Then he comes late. He asks me for my time, he comes late. I will immediately cut the conversation to half the time I set for him, and I will never contact the guy again. Because he doesn't respect my time.
I want to publicly on YouTube apologize to Ken because I'm just not the best at time and there's no excuse. So can I apologize? So at times I'm late, right? So I just want to apologize. And yeah, and I think it's a good reminder even doing this podcast as well.
Let me just cut you some slack because I understand Benny on a deeper level. I cut him a lot of slack. So if I don't understand you on a deeper level, too bad off you go. But I understand Benny on a deeper level, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's still not good to abuse. I'm not going to abuse this friendship.
Don't make it an excuse.
Don't make it an excuse. Perfectly right. Kind of caught by Qiuyu. But anyway, so going back to this, we spent our time, we talk about like network and all. Let me just chip in one. I think it's very underrated, but I thought it's important to talk about as well. I think one of the key things is to keep an active lifestyle, physically active lifestyle. I think there's time when my physical output is very low because, it could be very desk bound, white collar-ish work, right? Planning, strategizing. You just go inward. You're not active. You have lesser capability to reduce stress and to remove stress. You get into a state of sleeplessness and things just really roll from there. Recently I just go back to CrossFit with my accountability peers. There's a network is important, right? And doing it like at least once a week, right? I think that helps me to have a clearer mind as well, to sleep slightly even better. So I think one of the key things where people start to be wealthy, maybe haven't hit their million, they start to make more and save more. They get obsessed with being busy.
Yes.
They forget that sleep, active lifestyle, working out is equally as important. And then it all goes downhill. I think keeping an active lifestyle is important.
Yeah, that's a very good reminder. You guys are in the journey of becoming a millionaire. You are hustling out and you are spending a lot of time getting busy with your work, trying to earn that extra money, right? So don't forget to keep that active lifestyle and keep yourself healthy, because I think health is also very important, right?
It's very important. Yeah, you make a perfect point. It's very important to set some time for yourself. I remember working 16 hours a day. I was actually less productive working 16 hours a day.
Tell me about it. When you were young, you think that you can do everything. When you're old, right, you embraces the limit and you become more powerful.
Wow.
Really. So I clearly remember the day I decided that I need minimum 7 hours of sleep. That's when my life changed, because you just get clearer. It's not foggy anymore. You make sound decision, right? And not like you're young and go like, I can go sleepless, man. Like Gary Vee tell me to go 3 hours to sleep a day. I still can achieve a lot more in life. Work 70 hours. Like, come on, this is ridiculous, right? Guys, have you realized this? That to me, right, is more of a persona than anything else. It's just humanly impossible to make smart decisions across 18 hours a day.
I mean, you reach a point of like decision fatigue and you're tired, you cannot make clear decision, and then it will spiral down. In the end, things don't get done properly to the best ability.
Yes.
Right.
Decision fatigue, right, is what I learned when I hit my 30-year-old. Yeah, because I didn't know. I just thought that, I just want to get more work done, KPI, clear things, right? But I realized that you really have this thing called decision fatigue. If you make very important decision very late on the day, right, before the day ends, right, you are not as effective as clearing those big decisions early on when you just woke up. So Ken, what do you think is a good millionaire habit?
One millionaire habit that everybody should have is always to keep constantly learning and evolve. Yeah, you cannot I'm a millionaire now, I know everything, screw the world. It doesn't work that way.
That's the day your downfall starts.
Always accept criticisms. So if you look at my YouTube channel, probably I can say one of the few YouTube channels that at my level read almost every single comment, and you see when my video comes up, the first 2 hours I respond usually to most comments, and I will just get critical feedback to understand where I screwed up or where I did well, and I'm always learning from my audience. The audience think that they are learning from me, but actually it's a both way thing. So I'm always learning. You are a millionaire, you will hit a million because you have this important habit.
Having that open mind to keep learning and tweaking your method that you use to get to where you are now, and tweaking the method to get to the next stage, right? I think it's very important.
So what got you here might be the very reason they're stopping to get you where you want to be, because hard work might get you so far in life.
There's only certain place where hard work can bring you. The next level is working smart.
Leverage, understanding
Everything,
the situation in the market right now, knowing everything. So there's so many things to it, right? And if you're not current, I don't even want to talk about learning, you're not current in what's happening, right? You'll be losing on the biggest opportunity, I think. For me, right, one thing that I learned it in very late in my life, because I was an entrepreneur, and I was just never making big as an entrepreneur, right? Because I was not disciplined, right? So to me, one of the big point of a millionaire habit, right, is this. It's very random, but I think it's very important. See if you guys can resonate. Is keeping a good credit score, paying bill on time, having a good credit score in life. It is so important, because if you want to talk about leverage, if the opportunity arises, you just screw up your credit, You know, because no, I just pay a little bit later here. It's okay, it doesn't matter. You know, you just keep doing that, right? Then you cannot have leverage.
Yeah, it shows the state of your mind anyway.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
You are like all over the place. You cannot even manage your own personal finances, right? So that shows a lot.
With that, when opportunity arises, if you need leverage, it's for you. It's right there.
Yeah.
And you're not missing out. You know, people take years to fix their credit, guys, by the way. If you have such experiences or you have heard of such story, comment on the session, right? Wrote down all this experience there, right? And then let us read it. I think one of the habits, right, is to really keep all these decisions simplified or away. Make lesser decision every day. So just like my outfit, and I know this for Ken as well. Right? You know, we just have pretty much a preset amount of clothes that we wear. You know, that's about it. I know Ken will always have his red and a black and a blue Tesla t-shirt as well. The green. I mean, you just have that. I mean, yes, a lot of people try to be Steve Jobs with their one outfit look, right? But I mean, you can have some variation. It doesn't matter. But it's just there. Whip it out. Wear, done. You know, start the day right by not wasting time on all this minute decision. I think it's so important.
It's harder for me, right? I really need to choose what clothes to mix and match with, and also then take time to put on makeup and what color I want to put on and the color of the shoe that I want to match with. So it's harder.
So how?
I think go with basic colors. It's always like you won't go wrong with like black and white.
But I think you're a fashion minimalism yourself.
How many sets of clothes you have?
No lah, I have a lot of clothes. Like, my wardrobe is bursting. It's just that I stopped buying as much as before.
And that's a big difference.
That's a big difference for me. It's a good improvement for myself. But the thing is, what I realize is this: no matter how much I buy, I always end up wearing the same few things. I don't know lah. What about you guys? About ladies out there?
So the difference is what I hear is this. I hear about self-realization. And you are slowly changing the ways that your old habits. And as you do that, all these small things line up to become a millionaire. It's not just the one thing, all the small things that you're doing.
Well, what I call it the initial condition, you know, like you want to get all these things right and then pop, everything is right. The millionaire opportunity open up, right? And a lot of people thought it's about steps. No, it's just about getting all these micro habits right, and it all adds up to be something big. You know, on fashion, right? I give you advice. When I pick up something, right, no matter how basic is it, I ask myself, do I really love it? If I'm okay to have it, I don't buy.
Oh, nice.
Do I really love this plain blank t-shirt? Do I see myself wearing every day and it doesn't look good on me? The cutting every day, if it does, okay, then I buy. That's how extreme I get.
But the truth is, at this point in time, right, every time I ask myself that, most of the time it's like, I really don't need this.
Oh, then that's bad advice to you, man. But for me, it's always...
I end up not buying.
Maybe my awareness for fashion is higher, you know, like I'll be like, nap, and then it's really bad. When I buy, most of the time I'll wear it like because I sold myself the conviction that I really like it. Maybe So when I buy, I really do wear it again and again and again until it get rotten. You know, it get like the black becomes like slightly grey or whatnot.
The color becomes loose.
What else, guys? What do you all explore when through a journey through being a millionaire?
Just being a very minimalist person. If you have less things in your life, less stuff, less everything, you actually get a lot more.
More clarity.
Yeah, if you look at the whole minimalism run that's people doing right now, it's a fact that the less clutter you have in your life, the more money you have. It is a fact. It's an outright fact. Everybody who is doing minimalism, I have not seen them go any lesser, but instead they have reached a higher level of life. Because your mind has a lot of clarity on what you want to do.
How you do something is how you do everything.
Yeah.
You know, people don't understand that. Oh, but it doesn't matter, right? So long if I invest well, that's fine, but it adds up because the reason why you're not investing well is because it's appearing in different part of your life, and all this adds up.
Yeah, and one more thing. Let's say, for example, you are messy shit, and after that you have become a millionaire. That's one way to become a lesser millionaire. So last year is a bull run, and you made a lot of money because every donkey made money. When the stock market comes down, that's where the difference between the people who stays on and the people who drops down the radar and people continue going upwards.
We can talk about such thing called cluttering stocks portfolio as well. You know, some people have so many stocks.
Yeah, better off buying the index.
And they cannot make a decision when crisis happen. They cannot.
Yeah.
They just don't know how to restructure anymore.
Don't know how to sell, don't know what this, what that. Yeah.
And the scariest thing is because based on a stock investor myself, the scariest thing, it creeps in over time.
Yeah.
Because you got that $1,000 spare, someone say this stock is a good idea. Let's buy it. You know, over time you have some like crazy messy portfolio. You know what I mean? Chu is laughing because she's experienced that as well. Then you start asking, should I sell this? You know, like that, and then you get so stuck because it's so messy. You don't have a conviction of what you are trying to build. You're just adding on portfolios that it becomes archived that you don't know what to do with it, right?
Yeah.
Then you get stuck. And that shows no conviction in what you're trying to do.
Exactly.
In stocks.
Yeah. So if you want to wrap up this episode, like what's the biggest summary like you guys would have? Just do comment below, like what is your biggest takeaway? We would like to read it, and if you have any pointers for us, do let us know. We do read all your comments.
Yes.
So guys, on that note, thank you for watching, and remember to subscribe and click like. See you guys to the next episode.